Hello and welcome back to the World of AI podcast. We are happy to have you back here. I'm here with André Stamm. André, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hello, Mona. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, and my name is Mona Tenjo, and we are happy to have you back on the podcast because today we're talking about a super exciting topic. Today we talk about the future of AI.
Yeah, for
André, what
sure.
are we going to have here today?
Yeah, we are going into the trends, the current trends for the future, as well as why is everything going so fast and it's become faster and faster as well. And why is it important for you outside there that you are on the front side of the AI trend?
Absolutely. You want to be in front of the wave, we always said in consulting, because you don't want to be in the wave, because then you are like, boop, the wave is taking over you. So you're not
Yeah,
riding the wave, you are like in the wave, which is not a comfortable place to really be.
no, that's very, very difficult, and you will deep dive, but that is not the dive you will do. Yeah.
Very nice said. So, the wordplay is really interesting. It is
Yeah,
a
it
deep
is.
dive, but not the one you want. So when we look at trends, right? I mean, obviously, we cannot really predict. I mean, most people are really careful predicting even 10 years in the future because they're like, it's going so quick right now. We literally don't know what the world will look like in 10 years. However, there are some predictions on the horizon. One of it being that you see the trend already right now that there will be more personalized GPTs, the chat GPTs, right? That there will be more personalized systems for companies because of data privacy issues, right? And like you don't want to share your data with everybody. So that is one of the trends that's currently already pretty timely, right? However, there are more trends. So, Andre, what other trends do we see right now in AI?
Okay, one of the next trend is that the AI system will constantly have a look on the inbox or on the listening what you are right now doing and make a suggestion like a personal assistant beside of you. So if there's something popping up that you can say, oh, please have a look, and that is important, I guess, because of the past, and that will really help. It's a private personal assistant who is constantly on and constantly monitoring everything.
Which is a little bit like, maybe you have experienced this sometimes that you were talking and, stuff on your phone was, you didn't had a recording function on and you didn't Google it, but suddenly you start seeing ads for certain things and you're like, I feel like somebody is listening to me. So it's going a little bit in that direction, but not like subliminally, but more like, okay, openly, like they have access to your inbox and are supposed to do that stuff, right? So this is where this is going to.
It's going to, yeah, and that is the first part you just mentioned, the privacy part, because the privacy issue is the biggest part we have to solve. We need to trust the assistant or the company behind. And right now we are seeing that there's a trust issue with the big companies as well, because they are using all the data they have to train the system for our advantage. But on the other hand, if they are not using it for our advantage, then we have a problem. Because they can suggest, as you just mentioned, you would like to buy this. And I say, yeah, I was talking about that with my wife or with my colleague last week. Why do you suggest it today? That is very convenient. But on the other hand, it's a trust factor.
It's a bit scary as well.
Yeah.
No privacy anymore. Yeah, and a little bit a step in between to that end thing, right? And I think it's important to know where's the trend projected to go to is so-called agents. So agents are literally little personal assistants pretty much that you will talk to. So think of Iron Man and Jarvis, right? So Tony Stark is always saying, Jarvis, do that. And then Jarvis is just doing it. Jarvis, calculate that. And they are doing it, right? So think of this concept. And this is what Bill Gates actually predicts for the next 5 years that we will all talk. I mean, Bill Gates is not so off with his projections, right? I mean, think back of when he was talking about everybody will have a computer one day. And everybody
Yeah.
laughed at him. And look at him today, right? So his predictions are not so often. He predicts that in the next 5 years, we will all have our personal assistants via these agents. And basically, what Andre just said is the next step behind that. So then you wouldn't even have to tell your assistant anymore to do something, they would just do it. I mean, this is like, wow. And why are we mentioning this now already? Because, like, you have to think about how do you want to use that for your business, right? So maybe you have to put certain structures in place or certain ways of thinking to actually be able to operate like that to get the full benefit of it. Or also thinking of, do I want that at all? Maybe you don't want that for your business. Who knows?
Who knows? And it will happen very fast. It's faster than you all think about it. Microsoft just rolled out Copilot. Copilot is very well working on the development side. It's that was the first step, one of the first step, and right now it's going to Word, Excel, however, and you have to use that.
Totally. And talking about speed, let's look into this because I mean, as you probably have heard that on many different platforms, like it's going so quick. Now let's look a little bit into why is it actually going that quick, and we have to look at the concept of exponential growth, which is something you may have heard, maybe not. So let's look a little bit into this concept, like what is exponential growth in the first place? And there's a lovely law, and maybe Andre can tell us a little bit about Moore's law. What is that, and why is this now outdated already?
Yeah, Moore's law comes from one of the early CPU developer and founder of Intel as well, and he predicts that the components in the CPU will double at the first every year, and later on he said every 2 year. And this law was valued very long time. At the end of the 90s, they were thinking, oh, we cannot longer hold that because they saw physical boundaries to get it done. But at the end of the day, the prediction was very correct, and they did it every time. And right now, they are faster than the original prediction. How
Yeah.
fast they are? You
Yeah.
know that?
It's now every 3.4 months the speed of development is doubling.
Yeah,
Every 3.4 month we double. Like, just
that's
think about that. Like, it used to take 2 years to double, now it's 3.4 months. So, not even a quarter. A little bit more than a quarter, a little bit more. But, like, it's super quick, you know. And this is since 2012, they have seen that trend already going on, you know. You don't know how long that trend holds true. Maybe we are soon at 2 months, who knows? You know. But right now, we are around 3.4 months. And I think the issue that comes with it is that we humans are very linear thinkers. You
yeah.
know, like we think linear. Maybe Andre, you want to expound on that a little bit? Like, why don't we understand exponential things, compounding? Why is this so difficult for us?
Yeah, but like we have a date every month with friends, something like that. So it's one of a part every month we or every week we do the same in the same amount of time, but we will not spend double of the time. So exponential, it's like a chess a board where you have at the first place you're using 1 minute, and the second part you use 2 minutes and 4 minutes, so 8 minutes, 60 minutes. That's it's become very fast, and it's the same with if you are spending time on learning every day. Spend 10 minutes of learning new stuff. At the end of the year, you are far more in advance than if you are doing it only. Oh, I will spend a whole day this month. That is a huge amount of time. But on the other hand, if you are spending 10 minutes every day at the end of the year, you have done much more and you are far away.
Totally. This is called compounding, right? And the compound effect is something that, I mean, we know it with interest rates, right? But sometimes it's difficult for us to grasp it. And I mean, there's a nice little example, like you get the choice between having $1 million at hand right now, or you get 1 cent that doubles every day for 30 days. Now, most people who don't know that story would pick the 1 million because they're like, hello, this is 1 cent. Like, of course I take the million. But what you don't know is that if you take that double every day, you will be on day 28, not before, on day 28, you will crack the 1 million. But on day 30, you have 5.368 million.
Yeah.
Which is much more than the 1 million, but you only get it on the last 2 days because the compounding takes that long, right? But as you see, the longer it takes, the more impactful this becomes. And this is what we humans sometimes cannot grasp because we think 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? So we cannot really think that suddenly things go like this and they go like really steep upwards, like looking more like a J rather than a curve. And we are used to linear lines. We're not really used to curves, who are like taking a long time until they start gradually building up and then they poof, they go through the roof, right? And this is what happens right now with technology, which is why we have such a hard time to grasping it, right? On top, many people, let's face it, old tech was complicated, right? Many people don't really have experience with technology, first-hand experience, which is why many people are a little bit hesitant going in there because they are like, I had this old experience, this was really bad. And so who's telling me that that new thing is better? So we have this lack of experience, wrong anchoring of old experiences, which also give us a hard time understanding that things are now a little bit different, right?
Yeah. And with that said, it's important for you outside there, for all the businessmen to start today, to make only 10 minutes every day and have a look on the AI side. What can I use it for? And start with a small piece with a ChatGPT. Invest the $20, it's not more, and work and play with the system so that you have an understanding. And you will see after a month you have an understanding of the new technology, and you see in your business what you can do with it. That's the
Totally.
first simple step, and that is the reason why we are doing this podcast, because we would like to make sure that you are starting with the AI and that not you only use AI at the end of the day, but that you are thinking about for your business what you have to do.
And guys, let's be very clear here, right? If you don't use it, your competitors will.
Yeah,
And they
for sure.
will outperform you as quick as you can. This is light speed. Like, this is not like, oh, in 3 years I can reevaluate. No, they can take you out of business so quick you don't even see it coming. So that's why we want to be really clear. We don't want to scare you, but if you don't pay attention, you may be quicker out of the game than you might think of it. So don't be fooled that just because you don't use it, nobody else uses it. This is human nature. If you can get an advantage over somebody else, you will use that, right? This is human competitive nature. So don't be fooled that just because you don't use it, nobody else will use it. So be aware of that. This is why we're really hammering this down. Like, start using, start small, you don't need to make everything right from the day one, but start putting your hands in there because otherwise it will be a little bit tricky over time.
Okay. So here we are.
Next week we give you some examples on how you can use ChatGPT, what you can do with it. Now we told you, like, start it. And guys, don't even discuss about the $20, please. Yes, please take the $20. We tell you next week why, but trust us, like, this is the best $20 you will ever invest. It is definitely worth it, okay? The quality of the output is significantly better, so definitely don't discuss on that $20, please. And next week we go deeper into what you can now do with those $20 and how you actually invest and get a return on your invest very, very quick.
So thank you very much, Mona.
Share it, like it. Please give us some 5-star reviews if you like what we are doing here. Tell your friends about it, share it everywhere, and we are looking forward to seeing you back next week. As always, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, André.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.